Hey, Newmarket, we're going to talk about your real estate market today. So what we're going to do is we're going to review the Toronto Real Estate Board stats for the most recent data that we have, which is March 2021. We're going to compare that with what happened a year ago in March 2020. And then, of course, we're going to have a look, like my other videos, what happened in February 2021, so the month prior to the most current data we have. So number of home sales in March 2020, so a year ago, 153, and that's total across all home types. That is condos, semis, towns, links, detached, condos, condo townhouses, absolutely everything. 177 in February 21. So actually fairly consistent, year over year. I would say that's fairly close. 276 in March 2021. So now there's kind of three numbers that I just have them written here small so you can't actually see them. But basically what we look at every month is you have new listings coming on the market, you have number of sales, then you have active listings. And so basically what it is the active listings are the listings that are left over after monthly sales happen. So essentially what we have is we have new listings coming out minus the number of sales equals the active listings. It's not always an exact math because you have cancels and relists and things like that, but what we were looking at through February 2021 is 288 new homes coming on the market and 177 sold and then 140 remaining active. March 2021, 276 homes coming on the market. So year over year, big increase in the number of homes coming on the market. Now, if we look at March 21 new homes that came on the market, 432 homes came on the market, 178 left active. So still very, very healthy market. Lots of sales, and you'll see that as we continue to go through the stats here that Newmarket is an extremely healthy market. Average sale price across all home types a year ago was $841,000. That rose in February 2021 to $1,098,000. And still trending actually at $1,098,000. So I've said this in some of my other videos that we may be seeing the beginning of a bit of a ceiling on the market, but in other towns we're not seeing that. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes in the April stats. Sales to new listings ratio refers to the absorption rate, tells us that out of the homes coming on the market each month, what is the percentage that are actually selling. So a year ago, 58.4% of the homes coming on the market were selling. And now when we're talking percentages and we're talking about buyer's market, seller's market, when you're in that 50 to 60 range, typically what we're seeing there is it is a balanced market where the supply is adequate to meet the demand. I would say demand is still a little bit stronger. Sales to new listings ratio 61.5% in February, currently trending at 63.9 in March. So again, we are still seeing that strong activity. In fact, it's actually picking up, and you'll see that in my next stat. Months of inventory remaining, amazing gauge of the market, tells us that at the current rate of buying, if no other homes came on the market after today, how long would it take for the market to completely deplete? So a year ago, 1.1 months of inventory. Now interesting, and I just want to point out that when we were in March last year, this is when we were getting into that COVID market, right? I mean, March 15th, 2020 is basically when everything kind of went into shutdown or lockdown. We did have a period in the market where from March 15th to April 1st where the market was actually fairly quiet, and then things started to ramp up. So, in these stats, which are from March 2020, you're already going to start to see those numbers sort of taking form. February 2021, 0.8 months of inventory on the market, so not even a month of inventory, currently trending at 0.6. So again, this is what I was saying, is that we're seeing the absorption rate increase, which means buyer demand is still coming in very strong, and inventory levels are declining, so which is going to probably push the average sale price up a little bit. Sale price to list price ratio a year ago, 102.2%. Again, I'm not surprised to see that because again, we were in the beginning of that COVID market, so a lot of sellers took their home off the market. It immediately depleted the inventory like overnight. So we did start to see multiple offers and bidding come back in March 2020. 110.4% in February. Houses selling at 108% in March. So, I always say this is one where you got to take it with a bit of a grain of salt, because it could just be that more homes were coming on the market that were actually underpriced to the market. But I would expect that you're going to see this sale price to list price ratio. I think you're going to see it probably come down a little bit in the next coming months. Days on market to get a home sold a year ago, 11, was 6 in February, currently trending at 7 in Newmarket. So what does this market mean for buyers and sellers? For buyers right now, I think it's encouraging. I've been working with a number of active buyers right now. We are starting to see that we're not seeing the homes go over asking quite as drastically as they were. We're starting to see the ability in offers where we can put conditions back in, conditions on home inspection, financing. And for sellers out right there right now, still, I would expect if you had your home listed right now or were thinking about it, I do think you have a bit of a limited window in the market we're in. But certainly, I would expect a busy market. I would want to speak to your agent of choice, whether that be me or someone else, and I would want to talk about a couple strategies. So for instance, if you planned on holding offers to get your home sold and, maybe that day turned out to be disappointing, you want to know what strategy you're going to go with going ahead from that, where you're going to go from there kind of thing. So I hope you found all this information helpful. If you are thinking about making a change in 21 and you want to see how the market would pertain to your house, feel free to reach out. I'm going to give you a couple ways to do that. I'm going to put my link in the first comments there, and you can click that. It'll take you right to my calendar, and we can schedule a real estate discovery call. Take care.